Iran's last Shah met Zelenskyy during a meeting in Munich and spoke about shared struggles for freedom. Pahlavi said both Ukraine and Iran face threats to sovereignty. He stated Ukraine faces an external threat while Iran's threat comes from within. He added that both sides discussed mutual support and future cooperation and thanked Zelenskyy for backing the Iranian people. All right, Journalist Thana, what are your thoughts on this bit of camaraderie that we are seeing between Mr. Zelenskyy and the former Shah's son?
See, former Shah's son is the preferred choice of Americans to be installed as an alternative to the current regime. But the problem with the Pahlavi is that he doesn't have the kind of support in Iran, and being a princeling, he has generally enjoyed good life and has been out since his childhood. So I don't think he has got that kind of connections in Iran as the Americans would want it to have. Secondly, irrespective of how much the Americans want him to be installed, the problem is even if he is physically planted there in some manner or the other, he will not survive, because if there was a revolution earlier, there will be another revolution now, because he doesn't have the kind of support which is actually required of him. He is trying to find relevance for himself, and that is why he is I would say, conversing with Zelenskyy as if that he can somehow help in the internal threat of Iran. Now, as far as Iran is concerned, I don't think he is a threat to Iran. And Americans have also realized very soon, because with the protests, when they found that the outcome was not coming out in that favor, they also did not pursue the ambition of Reza Pahlavi. That's one part of it. Secondly, what I would like to point out is that under the circumstances, the Ukrainian situation is slightly different, because even Zelenskyy is on a slightly, shall I say, on a different side of the legitimacy, because his tenure has ended. As of now, he is going on with an excuse that my constitution doesn't permit to hold elections in war. But there are hundreds of countries which have had elections during war. So that's hardly any logic. But so far, the Western countries are backing him because they think that he is their best bet against Russia as of now, and a regime change may not be suitable for their intentions, whatever they want to do. So that's why he also remains an illegitimate leader. And Reza Pahlavi is not yet a leader, but also wants to become a planted leader as compared to as Zelenskyy was planted at some point of time by Americans in Ukraine, displacing the pro-Russian regime in Ukraine. So there is a similarity there, as you rightly pointed out. And but at the same time, I explained to you as to why the regime change is not so easy now. And the other issue is, if you see from a long-term strategic perspective, even if, let's say, hypothetically, they are in position to kill Khomeini, there is going to be a much more hardcore regime which is going to come up. So that is why Americans are not looking on that line. So I'm sure it's a difficult situation.
Right. So there's also a twist coming in. In fact, Reza Pahlavi has urged Donald Trump to support the Iranian people, saying it is time to end the rule of the Islamic Republic of Iran. And he spoke at the Munich Security Conference. Pahlavi said that political change in Iran is necessary. He also said, who has lived in exile since 1979, made the remarks a day after Trump said a change of power in Iran would be the best outcome. He called for stronger global support for the Iranian population as well. Ambassador Sajdev, so your outlook on this regime change, and it seems to be, substantiated by the people who live in Iran as well. It's not that people are happy there.
People are happy or unhappy is depends on the issues that are germane to that situation. Last June, when 12-day war devastated Iran, people didn't rally against the regime. They, in fact, came down under the flag, and there was patriotic fervor against Americans, against Israelis for having attacked Iran. The demonstrations last month, which were brutally suppressed, were against price rise and import restrictions and deterioration in the value of Iranian rial, which made the traders having suffered loss on importing at one price and selling at lower price. So all that was not exactly pro-American or pro-Reza Shah, tilt. In fact, Reza Shah's people tried to foist flags and of Imperial Iran and Reza Shah's pictures, etc. But they did not have the currency in the demonstrations. Now, I should also add here that its situation is not like Maduro kidnapping in Caracas a couple of months ago. In fact, it's very different. If the mullah regime falls, most likely successor is going to be IRGC. And IRGC is even harder lined than mullahs. So Americans would have to be very careful as to not to ask for or do things to facilitate the Pasdaran or IRGC
Fair enough, sir.
coming to
So
power.
we are running
Thank
out
you.
of time, but I appreciate your thoughts. And Jalna Asthana,